A very good morning to all the students of class 12th political science, and students, welcome back to the online classes here. And as you know well, we were doing the fourth chapter and the name was India's foreign policy. We have already completed this part 4, and today we shall be doing the part 5 of this particular chapter. But first of all, I want to remind you what we have already done in part number 4. So in that reading regarding the India's foreign policy, we had started our relations with China. So we were studying about India's China relations. We also call Sino to China. Okay, so we started with that how on a positive note we had started growing our relations with China. That is why we had studied about peace and conflicts with China, where we had studied how on a good positive note healthy relationship with China we had started with. Then we had started to study the topic issues of conflict between India and China, in which the first and foremost and the most important is Tibet issue. This is the first incident from where there were some issues and conflicts between India and China, which started with the China Tibet issue, where China has annexed on Tibet. So we had done this in detail. For today, we are going to start a new topic. So we would not call it a new topic, but for the day it's a new topic, but it is a part of issues of conflicts with China. The first we have done the Tibet issue, and the second one is border disputes between India and China. So this will be the second part of the conflicts with China. Okay, so let's start this particular topic for the day. But before I start the topic for the day, let me show you the map. I hope and I am sure that you must be knowing about the border issues of India and China, as this is the current news and current updates are going on in the news channels also between India and China border regions. So let me show you the map. I hope you can see the map. It's not so clear, but it's a rough sketch. You will be able to understand. This is the map of India and the boundaries connected to India and China. So you can see this. These red shaded parts are the areas of conflicts between India and China. Okay, this is Aksai Chin. Okay, and this dark red shaded part are the areas into conflict with China, and these are the boundary issues. So this is the red boundary issues, and this is all Arunachal Pradesh. So these two areas are the areas of conflicts between India and China, about which we shall be studying. Okay, so you can see it here. This is POK, and this is line of control. Okay, and this is line of actual control, LAC. So LOC is between India and Pakistan, and LAC is between India and China. So you can see how the northern part India is circled by, from western sides Pakistan and from eastern sides is China. So here we shall be seeing the boundary disputes with China, especially because in this topic we are reading about the relationship between India and China. In this map also you can see this is Aksai Chin. This is the area which India claims to be of India, but this is administered by China since the war of 1962, and this is the area POK. This area is being administered by Pakistan, but India claims this area is also of India. That is why when we draw the map of India, this is a shape we draw for India, as we conclude and consider this area to be the territory of India. Although this is administered by, here this on the western side it's Pakistan, and on the eastern side it's China. Okay, this is Aksai Chin. This is POK. This is line of actual control. This is red line is line of this is line of LOC, line of control, and this is line of actual control, LAC. So as I have shown you in the map, let's study the first point, border issues or the border disputes with China. A boundary dispute surfaced between India and China. The main dispute was over the western and eastern end of the long border. As you can see, we have the long border of India and China. So I hope now you know the areas of western and eastern ends where we are having the border disputes or the border issues with China. So western is Aksai Chin region, and this is Arunachal Pradesh region. Okay, China laid its claim over the Aksai Chin. So China always claimed that this area belonged to China. Okay, in this is the area next to or the near Ladakh and much of the state of Arunachal Pradesh. So these two, Aksai Chin at Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh, these were claimed by China to be its territory, although India claims that this is a part of India. And this Arunachal Pradesh is in what was then, it was then called NEFA. This place was previously called as NEFA, Northeastern Frontier Agency. So there can be a one mark question, what is the full form of NEFA, or to which country presently we denote with the NEFA previously. So you will call NEFA was denoted as Arunachal Pradesh, and now it's called Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. So between 1957 to 1959, Chinese occupied the Aksai Chin area and built a strategic road here. So there were claims by India also and China also regarding the boundary issues and the areas on the borders between India and China. Okay, there were two lines, McMahon line towards Arunachal Pradesh, and there was Johnson line towards Aksai Chin, which made the division between India and Tibet governments. And this line was decided, this was an agreement between the Tibet agencies or the Tibet government and the Britishers when India was the colony of British. So this line was decided by these two governments, but since China has annexed over Tibet, so China claimed this area of Aksai Chin as well as the areas of Arunachal Pradesh as their territory. Okay, so there were always conflicts regarding this, but between 1957 and 1959, Chinese occupied the Aksai Chin area and built a strategic road there. But in between 1957 and 59, Chinese occupied this area of Aksai Chin, as I have shown you in the map, and they built a strategic road which connected, this road connected this region of China towards Lhasa, which was the capital of Tibet at that time. So there was a strategic road, and India said that this area of Aksai Chin, from where they had drawn the strategic road, belonged to India. From there the conflict started and disputes over border and areas of Aksai Chin started between India and China. Moving forward, despite very long correspondence, these differences could not be resolved. So there was a lot of discussions, debates made to resolve the problem of this border issues, to bring to some point where they can have settlement based on this border region, but it was not possible. So finally, China attacked on both the disputed regions. So two disputed regions were, as I've already told you, Aksai Chin area in Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh, which was then called NEFA, Northeast Frontier Agency. So finally, China attacked on both these disputed regions in October 1962. In October 1962, China had attacked on these regions' border issues, and India was not prepared for this war particularly. Indian forces could resist the Chinese in the Western Front. Western Front means area of Aksai Chin. Here, Indian Army and the air forces, they were somehow able to resist and control the Chinese forces somehow in Ladakh. But if we talk about the Arunachal Pradesh here, Chinese forces were easily able to penetrate the territories of India up to the plains or some points of Assam plains. So they have entered the plains of Assam easily. Our army were unable to resist or control the armies towards the eastern sector. But if we talk about the Western Front, our army was somehow able to resist them somehow. Okay, this is the situation of the war of 1962. So finally, China decided a unilateral ceasefire and retreated to the pre-war status quo. So after few weeks, China had finally decided to unilateral means they themselves had ceasefire, stopped the war, and this battle was stopped by China itself because their motive of this war was fulfilled. They wanted to show their power and they wanted to show that this disputed region belonged to them. Okay, so when this motive and the objective of or the aim of the war was over, they went back or retreated back to the previous location or the next to the borders of India and China. Next topic is, what were the effects? It's the effect. So what were the effects of this war between India and China of 1962? What were the effects on India, internal situation of India, as well as the international relations of India with other countries? So let's see what were the effects and impact on India of the war of 1962. So India suffered heavy losses in this war. Of course, in this war, India was not prepared. Okay, so India had suffered a lot of losses of life of all the soldiers, as well as India was not prepared, we can say, for this war, as our soldiers did not had basic input or we can say basic equipments, like they did not have the boots which were required to walk on the snow. They did not have proper guns, arms, ammunition to counter the forces of the Chinese. Okay, as in comparison to India, Chinese were more developed if we talk about the military. It daunted India's image at the home. So this had daunted the image of India at home as well as abroad. This war of 1962 had the negative impact on the internal problems or the internal situations of circumstances within India as well as abroad. So at home all and at abroad, India had a negative impact of this war. Some of the top army officers resigned. Many of the top officers who were involved in this war, and they thought they were not able to protect the sovereignty or the territory of India, and we lost that war on the hands of Chinese. So many of the officers had resigned, and along with them, India's defense minister. V.K. Menon was the India's defense minister during the war of 1962. He had also resigned. So this was one of the most negative impact of Indo-China War of 1962, where most of the officers and our defense minister had resigned after this war. Another impact of the war was, for the very first time after independence, it was for the first time there was a no confidence motion or resolution was passed in the Lok Sabha. Okay, that's why it's written, for the first time a no confidence motion was moved and debated in Lok Sabha against the Nehru government. So here in the Lok Sabha, in the parliament, all the MPs were against the government of Nehru. We can say there were a lot of allegations of Nehru and on the government of Nehru for this defeat in the hands of China in the war of 1960. So there was no confidence motion passed in the parliament to remove the government. Soon thereafter, Congress lost many key elections. So after 1962, at the state level as well as for the central government in the parliament, for the parliament, many elections were lost by Congress. So Congress was the main national party before 1962. People had lot of faith and faith on this particular government, and especially people had faith on Nehruji, as people thought that he had the great knowledge of foreign affairs or the foreign relations, how to maintain the foreign relations with the other country. But after this defeat in the hands of Chinese in the war of 1962, Nehru, there were a lot of allegations on Nehru as well as his government. Nehru was really depressed and his health also went down after the war of 1962. Okay, it led to the division of the Communist Party. Okay, this also had the impact on the political system, political parties of India, and this led to the division of Communist Party. As we know, China was a communist nation, and India was the first country to recognize the Communist Party of China. So there was also a Communist Party within India, and this Communist Party had two factions. One was pro-USSR faction and other was the pro-China faction. These two factions were within the Communist Party of India. CPI had included both pro-USSR and pro-China faction. But after this war, what happened? This led to the division of CPI. The pro-USSR faction remained within the CPI. So this faction or this part of USSR who supported USSR ideology of socialism, this remained within CPI, but they made a close link towards the ties with Congress. But this pro-China faction, they had split in 1964 from the CPI, and they formed their own individual party, independent party, and the party name was pro-China faction, forming the Communist Party of India M. CPI-M, Communist Party of India Marxist. Okay, so now this CPI had split, but the pro-USSR had remained within the CPI but had a close links with the Congress. On the other hand, the other faction, that was pro-China faction, which had lot of sympathy for the China, had different party or the separate party in the independent party, which name was the Communist Party of India Marxist. Okay. The war altered the Indian leader towards the volatile situation in northeast and ultimately led to the granting of statehood to Nagaland, Manipur. So there was so much of unrest after the war of 1962, where people had started demanding the separate state. So states like Nagaland, Manipur, and Tripura were given the status of independent states within the territory of India. It was only happened only after of war of 1962. This is also one of the effect of the war of 1962, where India now embarked on the military modernization. So now, as we know, because of the poor modernization and the poor development of our military equipments, we lost this war. So now major focus was on the military modernization. The department, some departments were established, like Department of Defense Production was established in November 1962. So after the war ended, there was an establishment of this department, Department of Defense Production. It was established, and Department of Defense Supplies in November 1965. So these are the two departments which were established just after this war of 1962. Okay, so these were some of the impacts of the war of 1962.